So like I said before, you want to clean up these sealing surfaces. So what I did was I sprayed a little bit of brake fluid, and we're going to give the sealing surface a good brushing here, get all that extra carbon deposits off of it. Doesn't have to be shiny steel, but you know, just enough so you don't waste your time having to pull this back off and put more gasket material on it. I'll go ahead and do the other side, and we'll get over to putting the gasket material on the block-offs right here. Okay, so I already did the one on the right there, and just to see how it would work out, this stuff is kind of old, so it wants to slide off of this. Probably would be a good idea to do it is take some sandpaper and just give it a little bit of tooth so the gasket material sticks on there. So when you're doing this, you just want to do a little bit at a time and go around the bolt holes on there. And that holds true with any gasket material that you're going to be using. You can see how it's starting to slide off right there. So I get for being in a hurry. It looks like it's going to rain, so I'm trying to get this done. That's that for right now. We're going to reuse these bolts here. These are the ones you pulled off originally. We're going to reuse them, and then that should be about it. We'll bolt that on, and then we'll take care of the hoses, see how that goes. Okay, so I put on the block-off pieces with the gasket material on there. I got the two bolts started, and I already did the other side and torqued that down just to save some time here because of YouTube. So what we're going to do is tighten these guys down further. And remember what you want to do is tighten them down equal amounts so you don't warp anything. So a little bit on one side, a little bit on the other until you get them nice and snug. I'm not 100% sure on the torque spec on here. I can look it up. I have the repair manual with me, but I don't have my torque wrench. I have a friend who's borrowing it right now. So, but we should be pretty safe, I would say. And this one's going to be a little bit different because I'm using just a standard Allen. It's supposed to be a number 5, but I broke my number 5, so I'm using actually a standard set. I believe this is a 3/16, and so you got to be careful when you're using a standard on a metric bolt, and vice versa, so you don't accidentally round out the Allen head, because if you do that, then you're not going to ever be able to get it back off appropriately. Like that. Whoopsie daisy. So if I have to take that guy back out, I'm going to have to use a pair of vice grips and buy a new bolt. Alright, now we're all torqued up and we're ready to move on to the next section. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is take off this charcoal filter here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a tab here and a little rubber mount. That just slides on, so you want to slide that off. A little WD-40 manual out there, and definitely a flathead screwdriver to help you pry with, like this. Okay, if you look at this, this is the fuel line, so don't worry about that. The charcoal filter goes up around the frame, back down into the air box down here. Better shot of that. Oh, it's kind of hard with the glare, but you can see where it connects into the airbox there. So we're going to want to pull that guy off. Okay, take him out. Then, underneath the camera, you'll pick it up. But underneath there is a T section right here where there's a hose from the charcoal filter that goes into a T. This hose goes into the T, and then the hose exiting the charcoal filter goes into the crankcase vent. So we're going to want to pull that out there. Okay, so now everything's disconnected up here. Position the camera there. Pull that guy out, and we'll set him to the side for right now. Fuel line's leaking. Okay, so now that the vent is off, I'll show you where to put the plugs at. This big tube that runs off of here goes back into the air box underneath. So you're going to have the hose from the charcoal up top and the one underneath. This you want to keep connected according to the directions, and this hose is going to be rerouted to the crankcase vent back down here. So you're going to use the same hose clamp to mount it on there. And then the big plug is going to go right on top up there. Okay, so what I did here is this guy was attached, and he went down, let's see, from here to there. So I cut him off. Then the same clamp that was down here is right here now. We put that on there. This is a 6mm, and if you can see back here, the crankcase vent, there's a little nipple that sticks up, and we're just going to bend it and hook it onto there. Okay, just like that, and then we'll just tighten up this clamp, and everything will be good to go. One thing you want to make sure you don't do is leave enough room where this is a nice fluid bend. You don't want to crease this pipe or kink it or anything like that, because that's going to restrict the vent going back into the air box. Okay, and now we'll move on to getting the rest of this crap out of the way. Okay, so now we got the vent case in, or the case vent tube in. We're left with this one single hose right here, and if you follow it up, it goes to the much scary carburetor. But it's pretty simple. All there is a T right here. This is a vent for the gas tank. So with your included vinyl caps here, all you're going to do is, if I can get in here close enough, you're going to take this guy going back down to your smog kit off and put one of the caps in its place. And that's about it. Let me do that and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I took that hose off, and all I'm going to do is put this little vinyl cap. Let me show you. Just in case, I put that clip that came off the hose on there. If it stays, great. If not, oh well. And it stays, kind of. I'll keep it on there for peace of mind. And according to the directions, that's about it. One last thing to note is that bracket right there. That's what held your big mess on. We're going to take that off. Number 10 bolt here, number 10 bolt there. Once you remove that, you should be golden and you'll have a new engine exposed. It probably allows for better airflow through the engine, and of course you drop, I'm guessing this stuff is about 7 or 8 pounds off your total weight, and yeah, you'll I've heard that you'll have smoother performance and everything else, but we will see once I get everything there. Here's the cap, the big plug for the air box. The hose that we talked about before runs back into the crankcase vent down here, and pan around the engine. We've got our little our covers there on both sides. You can see that, and well, I'll put everything back on and we'll fire her up and see what it's like, and give it a ride and give you a little review on the kit. Alright, as you can see, everything is back together again, and we'll fire it up and see if I did it right. We're running in a few days, so. Alright, of course my hands are all dirty, so I'm going to go wash up and give her for a ride. Right away I just noticed a quicker throttle response, so keep that in mind. Well, we're back again. Just finished my test drive. As you can see, the smog kit is off, and wow, what a difference. For 25, 28 bucks, probably one of the best mods you can make. If I sum it up in one word, I would say orgasmic. Right away, I noticed that the throttle response was instantaneous. It didn't have that little tiny hesitation that it normally does in it. Absolutely no backfiring that I heard was going on, like when you downshift to come to a stoplight, and it gives that little sput here and there. Absolutely none. So that's a big deal. I noticed that I got a little bit more RPMs out of each gear. So I was actually doing about 65 in 4th gear, and I did about 85 in 5th there. I didn't want to push it too much. I normally ride real conservative. But yeah, I highly recommend the kit. It was a very, very good mod. Next on the list, bigger fuel tank. I'm going to redo the front headlight here to knock down some weight. I designed a LED circuit that I'm going to put in to have the lights trace, and they will be integrated into the hand grips here to also save on weight. The back fender is also going to be integrated LEDs with tracing lights, just like in the old Cougars. I want to get a carbon seat on there, the ones that come out a little bit more for longer rides. I'm debating to stretch the seat all the way back here to allow more room for a passenger. Not many people ride with me, so I'm not, I don't know which way I'm going to go with that. I may end up keeping this. Exhaust, of course, is going to have to go. That's a stock exhaust. Front brakes are going to be upgraded to the ones with the big rotor, and I think that's about it I'm going to do. I'll probably run into some stuff here and there that I want to trick out a little bit. Of course, the smog kit will have to go, and all that's going to require rejetting, so that will probably be done in one fell swoop. So hopefully you guys, if this video works out, you can tune in for more. Hope I helped you out. 4stroker.com is where I ended up getting a lot of my information. It's a very good resource. So have at it. I bought my kit directly from Honda for $28.95, I want to say. So not bad, and pretty easy. It took me a little while because I was recording the video and had kids and stuff running around. But for the most part, you could probably do it in 45 minutes to an hour. Real easy to do. Highly recommend it. Enjoy.